The Human-Centric Storytelling is a series of reflections and conversations that provides an overview, tools, and frameworks from world-class marketing leadership in human-centric approach to storytelling. From over 2 decades of leading brands like Nokia, Nike, Adidas, and most recently as Chief Marketing Officer at Saucony. During this podcast, I will introduce you to concepts of brand marketing, communications, and successful frameworks that the most loved brands use in their day-to-day work. We'll also discuss various disciplines and the roles these brands play in the development of culture, art, and society as a whole, from large iconic to small and scrappy marketing programs, from inspiration to humanizing your brand. I am Fabio Tambosi, your host, a multicultural and true international marketer known for building and creating emotive brand stories in today's fast-changing digital landscape and leading highly collaborative teams, all rooted in my lifelong experience as an elite soccer player. Listen in to hear how brands, people, and the world of marketing is undergoing a radical transformation and how global leaders are changing the world by using the power of human-centric stories and social media. In today's episode, I'm going to introduce you to the new concept called the Kinship community. This is pretty much talks about how to build a brand through reciprocity and create value for society. When I decided to write this blog post, we lived in a very different world, and it was a world where the fear of an unjustifiable war was not omnipresent in our lives. We're living with hope, optimism, and excitement for a world that had unified through a pandemic. When we thought we had come out the other end more vigorous than ever before, we now face a war at a magnitude never thought possible for this day and age. It was beautiful to see how humanity came together to overcome an unprecedented time filled by COVID-19. We had every opportunity to slow down, reconnect with our loved ones, and make time for the little things in life that matter most, our health and happiness. We have redefined the meaning of work, the importance of material things, and found a new way of contributing to a society. At the moment, there is much bigger trust in communities. People are holding companies, governments, and institutions accountable for how they treat the environment and their social responsibility in the world. Today's societies relies on brands to make them feel safer, connected, and seen in a time of despair. According to the brutally honest Gen Z report for 2022 from Imogen Insights, 0% of Gen Zs will trust brands in 2022. The same cohort from the report stated that only 3% would trust newspaper and magazines, and 4% would trust the government. As we interpreted this data, it is safe to say there is no longer trust in traditional mediums that brands communicate with their audience. The future of marketing discipline is unknown and at risk of extinction if we do not break old norms. There are way more changes happening in the world that have accelerated us forward in ways we have never seen before. It is no longer about climate change. It's about everything has changed. As a debater whether or not to talk about in this episode, I soon realized that introducing the Kinship community, it is topical and culturally relevant for the moment for the following reasons. First, it creates a system that maintains unity, harmony, and reciprocity within the relationships with consumers. It is a network where brands act as a platform of personal relationships with like-minded individuals to create economic shared value for each member. It has become even more critical because people have expressed a higher mistrust in institutions, governments, and companies. At the moment, the world is frantic, chaotic, and moving to unknown directions at lightning speed, but with no precision. Hence, brands can become trusted partners within their communities. Technology is advancing, The economy is uncertain and the world is undergoing societal transformation. The world we live in is evolving and giving brands the opportunity to connect with people through the power of digital technology in a much more human way. The current evolution of our communities is challenging everyone to think outside the box. The global supply chain is experiencing shortages, creating a suppressed demand, and brands are carrying high inventory in their warehouse. People expect far more for less, but that cannot be the case anymore. There is an opportunity to rethink how we create value and build social connections without distractions and economic value for all. The beauty of technology allows brands to know their audience more personally, driving continuous two-way dialogue with people. We're deep into the era of personalization at scale, and marketing needs to reinvent themselves. Use data to inform decisions and know individuals personally. The barrier to overcome is how you capture and ethically store data. With the departure of third-party cookies from Chrome, you become more difficult to precisely offer relevant content for people you want to serve. The companies who have embraced the need for first-party data capture already have a head start on their competitors. With this innovative approach, these companies can swiftly shift communication from the traditional push marketing to a kinship economy where you create demand for the brand. The kinship community marketing approach is a straightforward principle. It establishes clear guidelines for communication and interaction among brand audience to create shared economic value for communities, brands, and society. The brand can connect with the target audience more profoundly over extended period of times with this approach. I understand that you're probably asking yourself, okay, how do I balance the pressure to deliver today's sales with the long-term growth? We all know that with no growth, there's no tomorrow. You have to remember that your consumers are people too. Remember that your brand will gain their trust and form a community by making personal connections with your consumers. Building your brand on the foundation of kinship community is how brands can grow in today's unprecedented times. Slow down, regain trust, and allow your brand to be an outlet for self-expression for every member. Suppose you want to have a meaningful role in society. First, you must answer how you will generate value for this community. There's no better time now for brands to act as a platform to unite people and society.